Hi guys, this is the Betamax man here. So here's what we're working on today. This is a Sony SL340 and this thing has two issues. One issue, the cassette housing has a broken gear, and number two, the power supply has a bad voltage regulator chip. So here's what I'm gonna show you. So if we power it on, all it does is flash. And that's definitely a voltage regulator issue. Now here's something else. The caps, there were some bad capacitors that I replaced. So I've replaced all four caps have been replaced. Still no change. So that tells me that the voltage regulator, the STK5478, has failed. Now, I just so happen to have another power supply, and this one works. This was out of an SL330, which is a year older. This one is a year newer than the 330, but so we're going to change this out and we'll see if we can't get this thing to power up, and then we're going to take a look at the cassette housing and see if there's anything that we can do, but I seriously doubt that we can do anything for it. So what I'm going to do is swap the power supply out and then we'll see if we can get this thing to power up. If we can get this thing to power up, then we'll go further. Now, let me explain something. Okay, so we got it to power on, and we have a power light. So we now have proper power. Now, let me explain something. I'm going to get my iron. I need to get my iron nice and hot. Now, here's the situation. I've got it connected like this just to see if it'll turn on. But I am going to take the wires and we're going to solder them together. I think I'm just going to cut the wire and solder them directly into the board. Or if they're not long enough, I could just solder them and wrap them with electrical tape. And I might do that because I don't know if my wire is going to be long enough to reach, because the wire was cut real short. And so I think that the best option for me right now is to just solder these together and put electrical tape around them, because once the joint has been soldered, it'll be fine, it'll be perfect. And with the electrical tape around both sides, you see, because the wire is definitely not long enough, and these grommets, they don't come out. You can get them out, but it's extremely hard to get them back together. So I'm just going to solder these two wires together, and we'll wrap them with tape, and then we'll go further on the restoration on this machine. Now, I'm going to keep the other power supply because I can order a voltage regulator and put it into the other power supply to get that one working again. But you know, so I'll have a power supply that I could use to, you know, put on another machine. But I didn't have the voltage regulator. So I thought, you know what, power supplies are the same except for the wire here, because the wire goes onto a different mounting bracket. But anyway, long story short, now we're gonna start. We're gonna heat my iron up, we're gonna solder this and wrap it with tape. We're gonna go further and see if we can get this machine up and going, because I'd like to get this machine going today, because I'm gonna put it up on eBay. It's gonna be listed for sale. It's probably gonna be listed at around 150, starting bid at 150. Buy it now for 200, and it's gonna come with a 30-day warranty. So if you guys are wanting to buy this, go on eBay and you'll find it, because once we get this fixed, that's where it's gonna go. So I'm gonna unplug that wire before I short something out, because if I was to short it out, I could cause damage not only to the other components, but I could cause damage to the transformer too. So if you short these two wires were to touch, it would short it out. It would damage the power supply. Of course, the fuses would blow too. You know, the fuses would probably blow if that was shorted out. But because those fuses are there to save the power supply from having that issue. So we're gonna go ahead and do that, and we will do some further investigation and see if we can get this thing up and going today. Okay, so we did a pretty nice, half decent solder. And when you solder the wires together like this, it makes a permanent bond. These are not going to come apart. So that's the reasoning for using the solder, is to make sure that these wires don't ever come apart. And this is how you're supposed to do it if you want to splice two pieces of wire together. You're supposed to put them at a fan them out, and connect them, and then twist them, okay? And then you put some solder on there, and that makes a perfect connection. So that's what we're going to do. Now, we're going to go ahead now and wrap it with some tape, and then we're going to plug it in and see if we can get a tape to play. Okay, we got a nice, I've put tape around them individually, and then I also put tape around them to stick them both together. So these wires are nice and good connections, so we don't have to worry about that no more, because we now have a power supply that works. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to plug this in, and then we're going to start doing some searching and see if we can get this thing to play. And I'll try to put this at an angle where you guys can see. Let's get this thing all plugged in, and let's just see what we can do here as far as getting it up and going again. And I do have some testing tapes, so we'll stick one of those in. Now, I do know that the cassette housing is not working properly, and we got our power head spinning up. Let's just see what. Okay, it's played automatically. So it looks like we do have play. I'm just trying to see what channel we have. So, okay, it seems to be playing now. So I think this machine just suffered from both a voltage regulator that had went out, and it also suffering from a cassette housing that doesn't work. So we're going to play that, we're going to put that cassette housing in so that we can get this thing playing. What I want to do is hook this up to the monitor here, and I'm going to hook this up to the monitor and get this thing up and going and see if we can get a picture. If we don't have a picture, then we're going to have to do some further investigation. If we don't have a picture, probably the head amplifier might have some bad caps. So we might replace the caps in the head amp anyway, because capacitors go bad in the head amp, and that causes you know, they may not be fully, the cap may not fully be working, and that'll cause picture issues. So let's go ahead and get this thing. So I have it all hooked up here. Let's get this thing all plugged in. We're gonna put one of those, where's my, there it is. So we have my audio adapter, and we'll convert the mono signal into linear stereo by using the adapter. So there's the audio, and I can hear audio. Let's see if I see video. I can see video. The picture quality is very, very poor. Gonna have to get a lot better than that. Let me show you the picture quality. Yeah, we're gonna have to get it a lot better than that. Let's put the tracking in the center. Let's see if that'll clear that up. No. Yeah, it's in the center, but it's still not very good. And we do have some issues with the video, so let's try. So that is in the center, the tracking, and there's some issues up here at the top here, you can see. So I think what I want to do is go ahead and pull, well, let me clean the heads first. So we'll try another tape. So it's going to be hard to get this tape out, but let me put the camera over here for now. So let's get the tape out. Okay. Alright, we'll clean the heads. Okay, let's clean the heads. And okay, clean the heads. Let me get my little stuff together, guys. Alright, we do have some paper. Let's go ahead and do a little quick. We'll do a quick cleaning. I'm going to put that on the tuner here. Just trying to find where the line is, line input. Sorry guys, I'm not see where is line input. Well, let's just turn it off. That'll get rid of the sound. So let's get, this is some 91% alcohol. Make sure you get 90% or more. In a pinch, if you can only get 70%, you can use it, but make sure you use a dry piece of paper afterwards to make sure. But I don't recommend 70% unless you don't have a choice, unless that's all you have or that's all you can get. And with coronavirus, everybody's buying the 90% or the 99%. So alright, I'm not really seeing much dirt coming off of there, but we'll go ahead and we'll go ahead and put a dry paper up there just to make sure that we and let's clean the control track. So you can use a Q-tip to clean the control track. So, okay guys, I got a couple of Q-tips here. We'll clean the audio head and the control track head, okay? And we'll just clean the casting a little bit. We'll clean the erase head, and we'll double check the audio and control track, make sure that's nice and clean. Okay guys, I think that will do it. That'll do it. So, and we'll try another tape that I know is in good shape. Here's one. So let's go ahead and we're gonna get this one. Yeah, very, very bad quality picture, guys. Extremely bad. I am surprised at that head amplifier. And this is playing back Beta 1, the original Beta 1. And that noise you're hearing sounds like chipmunks. It's because when this tape was recorded, the audio was not working, and so it was just one of the test recordings I did on the SLO 325 because I wanted to, which we're gonna fix that issue, but right now I got a lot of stuff to do, so I'm a little backlogged. So let's go ahead, we're gonna eject, or I'm gonna fast forward this tape here. Looks like our idler motor is a little weak too. It is working, but it's a little slow, even for beta standards. Where's the clear? I want to clear the tape. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, bad quality picture, guys. I don't think our motor is working at 100% capacity either, so maybe we'll just go ahead and change out the motor, because that motor is running a little slow. And I think what's happening is, I think that the capacitors on the circuit board where the motor has starting to fail, because that is too slow. But it could also be a problem on the circuit board too. So, but at least we got this thing to where now it'll play back a tape, because it wasn't doing anything before. We need to replace the cassette housing. We need to replace the caps and the head amplifier. And I'm really surprised that this is given any kind of a picture at all. So I just want to see if I want to let's play. See how that slacked? Now it's in beta 3, I think. Yeah, this was recorded in beta 3. These were some test tapes that came with the SL2500 that I got. Now, yes, we're going to work on that as well. So we do have quite a few things to work on this week, and we're going to get to them eventually, I promise. And I know that I'm not given, you know, I know I haven't been doing very many videos, and I do apologize for that. So we're trying to keep these videos a little bit shorter so I don't lose your attention span, because I don't want to lose your attention and then you won't like the video because it's too damn long. So let's go ahead and we're going to stop it. I'm going to take the tape out. I think the first thing I want to do is go ahead and get we want to go ahead and get the cassette housing, because I could take the cassette housing out, and I can also take the capstan motor out too, and now we can just, but I think for right now we'll put a cassette basket in here that works, so we'll have a good one to put in here. Okay, and then we'll see if it might even be the motor that's so weak that it's not dragging the tape through the machine like it should. Now this particular chassis, this is a 711B3 chassis, so the capstan motor not only works the capstan, but it has a tooth belt, and it drives both the take-up and supply spools. So that is going to be an issue too. The new cassette basket is in. Let me show you the old one. There's the old one. So let me show you what happens with these. Let me turn the TV off. Okay, so what's happening is these little posts, they break, and that is what causes the issues. And if you're able to put a new post on there, or basically is what you have to do is just put a new post. Sometimes you can't take the post out. Sometimes you have to replace the whole mechanism, but that's what goes wrong with them. And let's see if we can get a tape to go in there now. It should actually go ahead and it should go in, but okay, so we're probably gonna have to figure out what's going on with that. Okay, yeah. Probably lubrication issues. So, anyway, let's Just see if it'll eject. It's got lubrication issues. Yeah, it's just lubrication the grease needs to work its way into the gears. But I need to get new grease. I need to order some grease because right now I don't have any grease, and I need to get some because, you know, the grease dries up and it gets gummy, and then it doesn't work the mechanism like it should. See, now it's working. So, just a lubrication problem. So, anyway, so now that we got that tackled, now we can start focusing on the picture quality. Now, I do notice something, that the forward and the rewind cycle is a little bit on the slow side. It seems to play okay, but it's definitely on the slow side. So when we put it in fast forward, it just seems like it's a little slow. Look at that! Look at that tape slack. I don't think the video issue is caused by the head amplifier. I think the issue is caused by a weak motor. So let's see how the slack now starts to take up. So we've got an issue with the motor, and I think that's the issue with the video signal, because the motor, this capstan motor, drives the capstan and the take-up and supply reels, and the capacitors go bad on these, and they start to become weak, and we're just gonna we might try recapping it before we replace it. So let's try recapping the capstan circuit board. There's a circuit board because this is a direct drive capstan. It also operates that, but the capstan is run by a little circuit board that has not only capacitors, but it also has a circuit board, an IC chip that controls the motor. So the caps go bad. Now sometimes I think they're surface mounted electrolytics, so we may not be able to change them. I'm not sure. So we're going to have to take that out and we'll see what happens. But I think that's going to be on part 2. So part 2, we're going to pull the motor out. We'll try replacing the capacitors. So this will be part 1 for now, because let me go ahead and hook the video up to it one more time. Yeah, I just want to make sure the eject is working. So let's hook the sound back up, because I'm really starting to believe that motor is weak. If that motor is not moving the tape at the proper speed, the picture quality will suffer, because I think the head amp is probably okay, but it's most likely, see, video out and audio out. Okay. Yeah, see, we're we're definitely not running at the right speed, and we've cleaned the heads, so we know it's not the heads. It does look like the heads are dirty, but that's not what's wrong, because you just seen me clean the heads. So let me try my factory tape. I also have a Beta 1 tape, but we're going to try the... Hi, Maui. Hey, baby girl. Here's my kitty. Oh, that's the Betamax kitty, by the way. Anyway, let's play this. This one actually plays a little bit better than the other one, but we still got some. I think it's probably the motor. So let's pull the. I'm gonna pull the motor out. See how that tape's going slack, and the lubrication is not the greatest. So on the cassette housing, but after we re-grease it, that'll fix that issue. Basically what I'm doing is I'm trying to get this thing working 100%. Once it's working 100%, then I can, you know, actually start doing the cleaning and start doing the servicing on it, like re-greasing the gears and stuff. So let's go ahead and we'll look into that. So stay tuned for part 2, because part 2 we're going to pull that casting motor out. We're going to see if we can maybe recap it, and then we'll put it back in and we'll see what happens. So see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.